Morning folks, a lousy day in London. It's raining, it's cold, miserable, but not miserable inside. Snow scene. Now I'm just going to make this up based on paintings that I've done recently, which I'm not referring to. I'm just going to paint the sky first. So let's just draw something in. A fairly low horizon. It doesn't have to be even. A few trees on the background. Let's put a bit of a barn. I tend to put my bits and pieces on the right hand side because I'm right-handed. So let's just get an old barn. Just as an object, and we can highlight it with some trees. Okay, right, that'll do. That's all I'm going to sketch out. I was asked by somebody what brushes I'm using, are they Data Rounding? Yes they are. I'm using them because they're very good, but they're wearing out slowly. The white ones, the silver handled ones, they are graduate Data Rounding graduate of various smaller sizes. And I've got one 3/4 flat here, I think it's 3/4. I bought these at the range, but our range has got rid of its lovely art department in favour of an Iceland. Don't blame them, but they could have got rid of some of the less interesting stuff. They had a really good range of brushes and acrylics, watercolours, all the ones I would buy, all gone. So I don't go there anymore, unless I want some paraffin, and they do paraffin, kerosene. Right, okay, sky. Now I'm basically going to use cadmium red, ultramarine and cad yellow pale, and a bit more ultramarine. The ultramarine doesn't seem to stay open very long in the Stay Wet palette. It develops a thin skin, but anyway. Right, okay. I might use a bit of Payne's grey in the cloud, but I don't know. There's some dryer and some walnut oil. Let's get some dark. Let's try a mauve and a bit of white. Just get some paint on, that's the thing. Just cover it. Don't worry too much about what it's going to look like at this stage. Just bang some colour on. I need some more dry, I'm running out of that. Quite thin, just so the paint moves about a bit. This is about 14, just over 14 by 12 inches, so it's larger than the ones I have been using. And it's not, I haven't rubbed it down because by rubbing this MDF down, it's 3mm MDF by the way, it brings up the surface and it's too fibrous. So I just use some PVA glue and a bit of burnt sienna or another colour primer or acrylic paint added with the PVA glue to make it go further, and that is my surface. They really do need a couple of coats, but I haven't the time for that. It's my birthday today and I've got various people coming to sort of isolate in the garden, if we're allowed. Right, just paint around that. See, don't worry about making a finished picture to start with. Just get some paint on, you can adjust it. Being oil paint, you can adjust it, it stays open for ages. In other words, it stays moist for days, unless you're using a lot of dryer. Or what I will do, as and when I get round to it, is order a big tube of titanium white Griffin. That's my favourite white, which contains alkyd resin, and it's and because you're working all over with it, it tends to help the other colours dry, the student colours dry. These are all student quality, but the Griffin's artist quality. It's quite pricey, but it's worth it. And when I've got some, I mix it with the titanium white, ordinary Winton white, and it just does help the other colours to dry overnight sometimes. But as it is now, this is so wet for ages. Right, let's just get that horizon. I'll use a bit of paints in there. So what a dark, gloomy contrast between the white and the darker sky colour. Scumbling away here. Well, we could sort of have a lighter sky if we want. See what happens. See, something's happening with that even at this stage. And because the ground colour is showing through, you can leave it. Let's see what a bit of light does. Ooh, I don't like that. Let's get that bit, get rid of that. Now we've got a nice bit of streaky light just showing through there. And we can echo that through the painting. Okay, let's go away from that for a moment. Let's put in a bit of background. I think I've turned my horizon a bit higher than the bottom of that barn. I want that to be snow there. So let's get some blue, red, yellow, mostly blue. It's got a counter change against that darker sky. Otherwise, if it's the same intensity, it won't show. Watched a fabulous film on Netflix yesterday. What's it called? I can't remember what it's called. Memory. It was about Shakespeare. It was written by Ben Elton, who wrote Blackadder and numerous other great stuff, musicals. It's about Shakespeare's life after he stopped writing, centred on Stratford-on-Avon. Beautiful location. It was Dorney Manor, somewhere in Buckinghamshire. But I can't remember. Just have a look for Shakespeare on Netflix. It's a lovely drama. It's got Kenneth Branagh starring as Will, the great Will, and Judi Dench playing Anne Hathaway, and Ian McKellen, one of the grandees. Superb. Loved it. Right, okay. I'm going to paint around that barn now. I want some larger trees. These are all winter trees, but they're in silhouette. There we go. Plenty of red. Good dodge this to silhouette your building or whatever else you want to show. Sorry, my head's in the way. Okay. I'll modify some of that background. It's just a little bit too stark. Get this in. See, then I can put some snow in there on the top of the roof. Just an old brush, this one. Put some blue ones in here. Alright, a bit of dark in that foreground by here. There's going to be snow there, but shadowy snow. Can come up a little bit higher with some of these. Alright, let's just modify a little bit of that. So I don't answer the phone when I'm painting. I would if the camera would pause in record so that I can go back to it and it will carry on. But this one, this camcorder doesn't do that. A bit of white in it, white, sort of bluey white. It's too far away to sort of register as snow, really. That's it, that's good. Right, we'll just start putting a bit of snow now. Just let that go off while I decide what I'm going to do with it. Oh, we'll have a bit of orange in there, a bit of warm. Alright, okay. Well, I think I'll bring that over there a bit. Okay, get some snow. Now we don't want this to be white, we're off white. Now we just blend that a little bit. Right, okay, we'll carry on in that fashion. Put that brush to one side, we'll get this larger flat. There we go. So number 8 flat. Plenty of oil. Sort of a slightly orangey glow to that snow, I think, to match the sky. Oh, I love doing these pictures. Oh, improving. There's going to be some shadow in there. If I just get this done first. I'm going to put in some texture in that. Get some undulation with a bit of luck. That ground colour still shows through. You don't have to obliterate it, constable didn't. I think he used burnt umber, but his burnt umber is a bit lighter than, or more redder than the umber that I've got. And it was that counter change, that red background behind the trees with the green and the various greens, all counter changed, or contrasted. Counter changed. Right word. I might just put a little bit of a palette knife in there to highlight that, so I can just get that light shining on the tips of these trees. That's an idea. Right, let's get a bit of bluer stuff now, a bit more mauvey. Put a little bit of light back on there. More red. Just guessing this, I'm not working from anything, I'm just on the basis that if it looks good, it is. And leave it alone. Just a bit of darker shadow in that foreground. More of an overcast, just a few highlights. Okay, let's go on to that cottage. The cottage, that barn. So we'll have a nice reddy sort of smell. Where's my brush? I'm going to use my little flat brush. We'll have a dark. Let's have that a little bit of the light. A bit of red, bit of that red ochre. I need to get that angle there. A little bit of shadow under here. Bit of snow on there. I don't want that white, I want it just a touch off white. Just a bit really. Well, I haven't used much Payne's grey. Oh, the old barn. Catch a little bit of light. Okay, well that shows up, doesn't it? Could put a bit more texture into these trees here, but I just want to just go onto the this bit here where we want to put some. I wish there was a bit of that red, a bit of ochre. Set it down there. Just poking through. Put a little bit somewhere else. So really I haven't, just a little tiny bit of that red ochre. Some bits and pieces, I'll put a little bit up there. I'll use that red, a bit of that blue. Don't overdo this. Because it's stark, this is the essence of this one. Now, don't want this to look chocolate boxy. It just adds a little bit of, just opens it up a little bit. I love this brush. Oh, what I think of it, I was going to put into the knife work. Get a little knife, clean it. Now I want that sort of colour. That'll do. Find a bit of paper towel. There we are. Clean me knife. Now, very carefully, we can put a little bit of that light on there. Right, just highlights that. A little bit of shadow. And I think that'll do. I'm going to put it in the frame. Just no, I won't muck about with that too much. I'll take it off the board. That ingenious way of attaching. That was from Barry, as you know. A great idea. Right, let me frame. Try and keep the wolf a nice jumper. Good fit. One there. On the other side. Right, let's just pin that. Now, this bit kills me. It's too wide for my hand, and I haven't the strength in my wrists these days. Oh, you know, no, I can't. Oh, years of fitting carpets has done my wrists in. Alright, that's I'll lay that a bit flatter, I think. Right, that's better. Should get a better view of it in that frame. Right, okay, well there we are. And now, no rigour. just an impression. I like the sky. A bit different. Well, I hope you like that one, folks. I'll get it uploaded. Thanks for looking in. And I'll find out the name of that Netflix film. But if you're interested, it's not a heavy going watch. It's very, very funny in parts. I'll see if I can find the name of it. Bye bye.